Good morning. Welcome back to our monthly live stream. I got so excited seeing that Julia was already in the chat. Every time, I know you don't care, but every time I open this to start, I fumble it. It's just kind of part of the ritual. So happy full moon and Gemini, everyone. Julia's saying greetings. She's tuned in and doing end of the year cleaning. I love that. Welcome. I, of course, have my deck today. We will be doing our monthly read together. Hi, Laura. Okay, drive safe. And I brought different things. I want to just wait for a moment, allow people filter in. Oh, good morning, Katie. Good morning, Anna. Big love. Thank you, everyone. So yeah, I'm in a new location today. I usually film at my desk near my desk downstairs, but with these cold winter months, I wanted to let in as much light as possible. So we're upstairs, but I did bring my shrines along so you could still take a look. This is my current mini that I still have. This is called Grieving Beauty. She's so cute. And she has a similar colorway, like the same purple as this giant one. So this is Jumbo. This is Beltane, Flight and Flame. So we're kind of like opposing that holiday, but still the light burns. This would also be like really sweet for like a St. Lucie celebration coming up. I still have the Beauty Way, inspired by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And the asters there. And then I also have Rapture with my favorite little escape button. So I wanted to show y'all that I still have those in my possession and they're all available, although they're not behind me. Lauren's here too. Yay. Okay. I think this is so sweet. I want to acknowledge our consistency. It's something I'm celebrating in myself. I'm feeling prideful about is my consistency and how I've really developed that. Like I can say I'm a consistent person. I can say that I follow through. And then I see that in the community as well. I see y'all showing up over months, over years even. So I feel really grateful about that. And this is our third month of First Friday. So I feel like it's officially a tradition. So thank you for that. What are y'all reading? It's Sag season. Let's warm up with what we're reading. What are you learning? What are you teaching? Over the last month since we've been together, I finished 2 audiobooks. I finished the biography on Hilma af Klint. That was fun. It was long. It was fun though. And then I really quickly burned through the Salt Eaters, which was, I would call it, and it was, audiobook. I would call it like literary jazz. It was like so fluid of a book. And so that was really interesting to listen to and based in healing. So that was curious. And then as far as reading, I'm still working through When God Was a Woman. It's actually quite technical. And then I have been working on this literally all summer. But my goal is to finish it by the new year. So I wanted to bring it out into my rotation. The Light Eaters. This is also very technical. The Light Eaters. Let me enunciate about plants and their like nervous system. I'm doing that for science, but I believe they have a nervous system. And then this book is fun because it's broken up into actual months. So I've been reading its chapter every month, and that's been really cute. Okay, so I have other books too that we can, I have my Color Magic book, my Book of Symbols, if we want to like deviate from what we get into here. Julia is reading or learning about sacred geometry, adore, and reading Anne Rand's work. I'm not familiar, but I know you just sent out an email about what you're reading, so I will follow up. Okay, sweet. Well, shall we? How's the full moon? How's it going? It's so interesting that this seems to line up with the full moon, and my bleed is also continuing to sync with the full moon. I'm doing my counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, 24. We have all the cards. Katie is finishing up the Immortality Key. Okay, maybe you were telling me about that. Yeah, you were telling me about that at our last slumber. Okay, we'll be looking into. And then I borrowed Katie a book called The Seductress or something like that. Seductresses of History. And yeah, that sounds so interesting. So Anna's saying as a Gemini, the full moon is feeling supportive. I love that. Okay, before we begin, I do have a cedar bundle. I've been working with cedar through my ancestor work over the last year and just loving it for cleansing. So I'm going to go ahead and sort of set the space with that, light it up, cleanse the screen, send the protective strength and clearing your way as well. Thank you, Cedar, for being with us, for sharing your wisdom. Uh-oh. Big flame. Oh, okay. Okay, we can just have a breath. Spiral inward. Find our own centers. Maybe formulate a question in your mind. Something on your heart from the full moon. What's being illuminated. And then we will receive our message. So yeah, I'm really leaning into what I'm learning and what I'm teaching right now. The two sides of that coin and the spectrum of that dynamic. So let's just put it out there. What are we being shown to teach? And what are we learning? Because what we're learning, we of course will inevitably teach. All right. And may we be supported in these endeavors of relating in new and old ways. So it is. The big reveal. You ready? Satisfaction. This is a good start, something new. Patience. Third, flow. Okay, we have a colorway, definitely, and we actually have a double on one of the energy centers. So satisfaction is of the throat chakra. I always think of this as a Libra card. So think about that balance and that air. Patience is a card of the sacral space. It's a card of surrender. And those pulsing orange orbs, I see them as pulsing inward and reminding us to find that center, to go within, to find more space. And then the flow card is also of the sacral, but as you can see, connected with water, our blue waters. So there's sort of a theme going on here. And as I've taught before, and as I've experienced, there is a specific energetic tie between the sacral space, our womb space, our creative center of our creative cauldron, and the throat and our expression of that creativity. And of course, our communication. And if one is, damaged or cut off, then the other is influenced by that as well. While, just the opposite is true. If we are experiencing a liberation and a freedom of, let's say, the throat, then we will likely feel that and experience that in our womb as well. So that's important to mention here. This is quite feminine energetically based on that sacral connection and that double sacral symbol showing up. So I think that's really nice to have a softer moment. I personally am feeling the weariness of winter. 10-10 Katie girl. And so it's nice to sort of be supported in that slowing down and that yin energy and the quiet and letting that be natural and organic. So what are y'all feeling first glance before we sort of talk about them all together? I'm seeing some hard eyes. I'm seeing some smooches. All right. So, yeah, one more individual breakdown before we sew them together, thread them together. Satisfaction. And that's the thing. When I'm reading for someone individually, I sort of see these as chronological. I see this one as the most eager card, the most eager message. And then, we meet every moon cycle, and I like to read by moon cycle, or we meet every month technically. But so maybe this is sort of mid-month. Maybe this is when we're returning to that new moon. And then we see the final card as that conclusion, as that just final punctuation before we begin again. So as of right now, typically the full moon is a time of liberation, of extroversion, of communication, and we are doing the Gemini things. So air signs all around. I love these cotton candy colors here. There's something about the pastel, and although this could be quite extroverted, there's a softness to it with the season. This card is about counting your blessings. Like, let's return to gratitude. I already mentioned the weariness of winter, and I really was able to check myself over the weekend on the negativity that I was feeling and harboring and expanding on. And this card is an invitation to sort of just cut that, like cut through the clouds of negativity, and instead invite gratitude, invite appreciation, invite pleasure back into life. We'll talk about that a little bit here. But count your blessings. Be really present with the moment that is, and find the gratitude in the moment that is, because as clouds are, things are always shifting and changing. So it won't last forever. It won't last forever, whether you're kind of in like a positive moment or a challenging moment, it's gonna pass. So be where you are. Okay. So then sort of as you transition out of that, pastel blue, we're going to travel down to the center, to beyond the center, into the depths of our womb space. Our emotions, our connections, our web that we maintain. So this has the number 5, and that's sort of interesting. Throat is the 5th chakra. However, this number 5, it sort of exemplifies the same 5 symbology as in the tarot. It might be challenge, might be conflict, might be tension, or what's the word I'm looking for? Contraction. Yeah, because we're talking about the womb space. So let that be organic. Let that be natural. Travel inward. Find that intensity and meet it internally, meet it in your cauldron space. And then you can give it that space to breathe. Then you can really inspect it, become introspective, and find a way to transmute it, find a way to create with that energy, with those feelings, with those emotions. So yeah, that number 5 being a contraction, but we know that after contraction comes expansion. So it's twofold. And so we want to honor that process by being with it in its totalness. Oh, and then the pleasure. I want to circle back to that. So with this card, and in a moment, I will drop the guidebook in the chat so you can like look at these symbols and their actual channeled messages and their additional symbolism and connections as well. But in the guidebook, I write about the 3 P's of patience, and they are to pause. 1, pausing is usually good when we're feeling some sort of impatience, or we're feeling rushed or urgent about something, or confused. Let's pause. Let's take a break. 2nd P, pleasure. This is the sacral after all. These are about our, sexual and sensual desires in nature. So introducing pleasure back into life or back into the situation. And then the 3rd P of patience being perseverance. Continue on. Once you've sort of clarified and sat with, continue on the path, keep going. Let time pass. Okay, so then the flow card is wrapping us up and wraps this message for the collective up. And flow is all about that adaptability. At surface level, this card is like, are you hydrated? You drinking that water? Because sometimes when I feel really inflexible in the mind, I'm like, the least I can do is drink water. I'll let water do the work for me. I'll let water lubricate my system and get everything going. And then I can try to catch up with it later. So 1, stay hydrated. But 2, how flexible and adaptable are you being? Because that's a huge part of creativity. I was talking to Anna and Amber this week about just like celebrating as entrepreneurs how we can roll with it. We can roll with it. We can flow with it. When a problem comes up, when we hit a wall, what we're going to do is be creative and work around it. So this celebrates that flow and that ability to either expand your capacity to fill the container that's being given to you, or to find a way to move around. So yeah, the flow card. Affirmations on your water. And all together, we're in this like beautiful orangey blue mix, all deep into the idea of expressing your yourself and your creation as a being, as a life, to its fullest, or to its maybe not necessarily fullest, because that like maybe implies some forcefulness, but to its like, yeah, current peak, to your current abilities. Let it be soft though too. All right, so the pull is feeling in alignment with where Katie's at energetically, and Anna is saying that patience is a challenging theme day to day. It's nice to be reminded that it's a crucial step in the process of life. Yeah, I mean, we are wintered up. We are in the season of that sacred pause, of that emptiness, of that spaciousness, and we know that spring will come. The energy will influx again. So Julia's saying that this is an ideal pull. Adore and agree. Screenshot, Anna? Anyone? All right, let's take a sip. Today, my personal card was Journey to Joy, and we will transition now to doing personal pulls. Wow, Bella is here, my new friend Bella. What a treat. Happy Sag season. So yeah, now we'll transition and I will do personal pulls for anyone that's wanting that. Just mention it in the chat. I got carried away last month. A lot of y'all were on and wanting it. And so I do first come, first serve. If you just mention in the chat that you would like a personal pull, I will do that. However, if you're more of a private person or want a one-on-one or want an expanded reading, I now offer video oracle, which is perfect for this season. Okay, let me follow through with my first promise, which was to put the guidebook down. ToriRarick.com/FYH guide. Is that correct? There's that. And then I will also put in the down bar and the chat my link to a private video reading if that's something you want to book in the season to come. Can you guys tell I'm a little grounded today? I get really excited on these calls. I get really excited about being supported and loved and seen and reflecting that back. So today my goal was to just keep it cool, but I am excited. Okay, so I also put my link for the video. And then as always, I do offer e-reading where it's like, it's a little busy to coordinate timings, but if you'll just send a channeled message direct to my inbox, then I can do that too. All right, loves. We have about 10 minutes together. So we're going to do our sort of like rapid fire personal reading. So just keep whatever comes up in mind in the context of what we just shared as a collective, because of course it's all connected. So Julia is referencing to the full reading and saying it reminds her to settle into the small moments. Be patient when it's boring or hard to go with the flow. Yeah, she's my Saturn sister. She's my Capricorn sis. Long haul, babes. Okay, so Lauren, I see, is first. My girl, over years. We know each other from pharmacy school. Throwback. Okay, calling in the personal message for Lauren this month. What is to be learned or taught, or both? And what is being illuminated for her to look at? Okay, I'm feeling lucky number 7. Yeah, that's right. Cannabis came through for you, the prosperity card. Again, with that sort of feminine essence, this is a heart chakra card. So if you have connection to my, or have downloaded, have materials from my heart chakra and abundance course, review that. But, oh, and then the fan leaf is a classic 7 as well. Something about the number 7 for you, Lauren, the number of heaven, the number of divinity. Prosperity card, though, deep relationship with this plant, reminders to be in the back body, to like physically, again, sort of using these cards as like physical reminders and letting the physical things that you do support the mental and emotional and spiritual transformations. So like laying back a little bit more, leaning back a little bit more, being in that literal back body a little bit more to just signal that you are receiving, that you are resting, that things are coming to you, that you're in your queendom, and things are working even when you're laying back, because I know you're a mama and I know this is a busy time for us. So maybe let it happen for you a little bit more and be receiving. And maybe there are things within your life that are available to receive that you haven't, just because of that sort of positioning you're in, literally and figuratively, where you can kind of relax into that a bit more. And of course, if you have relationship with Cannabis Spirit, you can ask for her support in doing that too. Okay, that's Lauren. And yeah, feel free to check out the guidebook for additional messaging. And then that card connects to the rune Fehu, the very first Freya's. So check that out. Okay, we're going to do Bella next. Yay, I'm so excited. This is my first reading for my new friend. Please connect us with a message of support, a positive point of reflection and growth for Bella today and in Sagittarius season. I'm feeling middle of the deck. Who dat? Okay, double down on the satisfaction. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the call, but this is sort of the Libra card. We are leaning into that air energy. This is sort of a lucky situation. It leans into luck. It leans into the pastel and sort of playful, just uplifted vibration. I'm thinking of the rune that I have connected it to, which is Gibo. It's a little bit X marks the spot. Find the treasure. Look for the treasure. Reminders to count your blessings. So I would really like double down on this and do the practice in the guidebook to appreciate, to journal. I know it's so basic, but just returning to the basics in that way. Refreshing the basics, refreshing the magic in your life by bringing an awareness to it, by speaking life on it, all the things that are working out for you. Yeah, basic because it works. Fall back on those basics, like go back to basics. And yeah, number 7 marks the spot. Lucky girl, lucky person, cotton candy skies. I always think of cotton candy with this. So yeah, let life be sweet. Lean into the sweetness. Okay. Who dat? Okay, we're doing Laura. Then we'll do Katie. And we'll see where we're at. It might be time to go get Daph from school. So, okay. Laura, my sister in frankincense and myrrh. Okay, let's pull a message of support, of bliss, something that Laura can lean into when the winter becomes weary, as we turn inward even more. What is a message that can help her to remember the light? I'm feeling bottom of deck. See it on the screen. Oh, thy will be done. Getting a little biblical if you want to. So this is of the third chakra. This card is of the solar plexus. This card is of the sun. So I think big things for solstice. Do big ritual. We've already named the frankincense and myrrh. We're going to park it right there with all of these sort of like sunny reminders and attuning to the self and empowering the self. So we have the check mark, which is a throwback to Verita's Goddess of Truth, illuminating. I'm like really into St. Lucy right now personally, so I can't stop thinking about her and talking about her. But her feast day is the 13th, and then solstice, returning of the sun on the 21st. So something about really leaning into the light. And for some reason, I mentioned that keeping the light during this time. I can't quite recall what we mentioned last call, but maybe something about your mother and just like feeling really tender. So just remaining in the light right now and knowing that what is on your heart will be completed if you just take the baby steps, if you just take one step at a time, get through it one small increment at a time. And that's something that I feel like Julia also just mentioned. It's in the small moments and the small movements. So continue to breathe light, bring light, warm your solar plexus, warm your navel, eat those nourishing, enriching foods at this time. Love you, Laura. Okay. And then we'll do Katie, and I will like check in with the chat, and we will see each other next month. It goes so fast. It's okay. I'm already mourning. Everything is true at once. Okay, my girl, Katie Girl 1010. Libra Goddess. What is Katie meant to learn and teach? She is such a natural teacher. Ears jumped. Delicacy. Yeah, baby. For my Katie Girl 1010, it's all about the tools. Use those tools. This is a card of the third eye, Ajna. This is a card of sensuality, but in the cosmic sense, sensuality of our greater body. So we talked a bit about the sensuality and the desire of the sacral space. And now it's like bring it upward, expand it beyond just you, and get in touch with how people and things and experiences are making you feel. Use those tools of discernment. Use that sixth sense to sort of, I was going to say cut corners. Yeah, create shortcuts and kind of like cut the bullshit though. It's like if magic is on your side and if you're using your intuition, you can kind of like move through things a little quicker and a little more seamlessly. So this is sort of giving the magician card of the tarot. Use your magic, use your tools. You have everything at your disposal, and take it slow, take it sexy, take it sweet, like really enjoy your experience. This card in the guidebook points to like a 5-course meal or like a long course meal where you're in for a treat and you just want to be savoring it all. So again, with the feminine essence and energy here, tripling down on that. Let it be juicy, let it be seductive, let it be beautiful. All of that. Okay, I'm going to catch up in the chat and say my final messages. So Lauren says, in response to her reading, I knew I was being pulled to my orange tea for some reason. I think of you when I think of these orange cards. Yeah. Okay, wild that my moon time aligns with the full moon in our chats. I know, we are really like a full moon bleed club. And how's it going? I've been yelling at my kids. Hate it. Sorry. And I also apologize, which is like new in the cycle of parenting, I feel like, in my lineage. So I love that. Oh, okay. There's a question. Did I miss the question? I might have missed a question. Sorry about that. So connected to the words and cards. Okay, people are feeling it, leaning into the light, giving thanks. Thank you, everyone. Okay, thanks for joining every month. I do have an ask. Since this is just a little sweet time we have together, a gift of being together, could you continue the gift? Could you either send the live replay to a friend or invite them to come for the next 31st Friday, which will be January 2nd, which is the day after my 34th birthday. Thank you. So yeah, we're going to do it big next month. And maybe I'll even extend the time because my husband will be home. He'll be watching those kids. So we could like really get into it in a fun way. Okay, January 2nd. So send it to a friend if you could. That's my ask. I have a new freebie for my email, which is if someone signs up, I send them their own personal one-card pull. So if you have a friend that you think would enjoy that, please let them know. And again, I have personal virtual appointments open. I will be in Lafayette if there are any Colorado friends. I will be doing tea and tarot, but it's actually going to be Oracle at Little Herbal on the 20th. So it's going to be new moon in Sag. Tea and tarot, next day, solstice. All right, that's that. Thank you. Check out the guidebook. There's additional messaging, and there are classes on each of the chakras and shadow work if you're so inclined. Bliss be with you. I love you. I'll see you next month. Goodbye. Is that it?